was abducted. And I begged them to get the FBI involved.
I found out about Jessica's case on that Sunday that was reported. I received a phone call from John Vogler, who's a detective sergeant with the Eau Claire County Sheriff.
This is my niece Jessica, and she's been missing from Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
The community really pulled together when they found out that Jessica had been kidnapped. This is a very safe community. People used to keep the doors open all the time. So it was a violation for not just Jessica's family, but for this small community that she lived in. And people really responded to that.
Our family, friends, strangers came together like an army. We, and when I say we, I mean everyone, put out, and this is no exaggeration, about 1 million flyers. They tied purple ribbons on trees because that was her favorite color. They did fundraisers, pancake breakfasts, and so it was all a tremendous help.
I drove truck and delivered locally, and I contacted hundreds and hundreds of companies for their assistance in any way to get the leaflets out, put it in the shrink wrap of pallets being shipped all over the country.
We had magnets made up for the semis when they went cross country.
I received 3 huge billboards anywhere in the U.S. Everybody was so receptive.
My brother Steve was phenomenal, isn't even the word for it. He worked tirelessly on trying to find Jessica.
Every day, I get up early. I was never allowed to leave the room. I spent most of the days tied up to the bed into the hotel room. To avoid suspicion, basically, from the other people at the hotel, Oliver had purchased some homeschooling books. So when people asked, why isn't Cindy in school, he would say, I will homeschool her. He would tell me I had to do my homework. If I didn't do my homework, I'd have penalties when he got back. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. I wasn't allowed to eat whenever I wanted to, because I was fat and ugly, so the only time I was allowed to eat was if he gave me food and if I deserved food, then I could eat.
I think the media is crucial in getting the word out about missing children and helping bring these kids home.
At the end of the first week, we start looking for ways to get those pictures of Stephen, Jessica in the car put on America's Most Wanted. One of the producers was a daughter of a friend of mine who's an FBI agent, and she greased the wheels, and we got that thing on right away. We get 45, 50 leads on that first showing. We think we saw 2 people meeting that description getting on a bus in Cleveland. Sounds like a really good lead. So we would send FBI agents and or police out to that bus station to check and see who had bought bus tickets and where buses were going. So we had a lot of those, but nothing panned out.
And that was so upsetting, but I tried to keep my mind as positive as I could, praying that she was still alive.
I knew that my family back in Wisconsin would be looking for me because my mom had mentioned that if anything bad had happened to myself and my brothers, that she would find us.
We did a lot of praying and hoping. Everybody poured their hearts into it. And you just keep going, I mean, I wouldn't have given up I don't care if it's 10 years. I would still be looking for her.
I always felt she was alive, and I was trying to send my strength prayerfully to her.
I prayed all the time, had the courage and strength and hope that my family would find me and bring me home.
Do you suffer from back pain? Try Dr. Ho's Back Belt, a back pain solution that is now covered by many insurance plans, even Medicare.
The belt allowed me to walk for the first time in the year without a cane.
What is the secret to relieving back pain? You know, John, after years of treating back patients, I can tell you that most back problems are mechanical in nature.
So if the cause is mechanical, taking a pill is not going to solve the problem.
Taking drugs can be detrimental to your health. On the other hand, John, decompression or traction therapy is a proven technique for relieving back pain. I have designed a new decompression belt that can instantly help to relieve your back pain anywhere, anytime.
So how does it work?
John, it's much more than a regular support belt. When pumped up, it increases in height to stretch your thigh muscle and decompress your joint and disc to help relieve your back pain. When it rises, it also lifts and unload the weight of your upper body off your low back.
Dr. Ho's Back Belt is a patented decompression back brace designed to relieve back pain. It expands to stretch tight muscles and traction your lower back, all while providing strong support. If you have back pain, Dr. Ho recommends you try his belt, even if you've suffered for many years.
Since I started using the belt, I felt almost instant relief. After about a half an hour of using the belt, the pain diminished a lot, and now it's all gone.
This is a very easy belt to use. Pump it up. As you can see, the belt is rising.
Yeah, I can feel it too.
It's lifting up your body, and it's stretching your back.
This really works. It's giving me great support. It feels comfortable. I mean, I feel taller. I feel straighter. I can feel my back looking good. My entire core feels like it's being completely stretched and supported. I mean, I can't believe how much better my back is feeling.
So I've had pretty bad back pain for about 3 years. I've gone through different physiotherapists, chiropractors, and I definitely feel an improvement in my back. I kind of feel taller. The pain in my lower back's definitely gone away.
I've got no pain, and I feel great.
I highly recommend my whole physio belts for anyone with back pain, hip pain, or radiating neck pain.
I've had lower back pain, and along with my lower back pain, I had problems in my legs, and both my back pain and the pain in my legs have gone away after wearing this belt.
I'm very surprised that in a half an hour wearing the belt, it's relieved the back pain. It's actually got rid of it and relieved the tingling sensation in my leg.
Doctors recommend back braces for chronic and acute back pain, degenerative discs, herniated or bulging discs, sciatica-related back pain, trouble sleeping due to back pain from sitting, driving, or lifting, and back pain from sports and exercise.
I think every patient with back pain should be wearing this belt.
Imagine finally getting relief for your back pain and being active again.
I've had back pain problems for the past 4 or 5 years. Nothing gave me instant relief except for the Dr. Ho belt. Before I couldn't really move, couldn't play with the kids. And now after using it, I'm young again.
My low back is killing me because I'm carrying all this extra weight.
Wow.
But if I can take this weight off, my back will instantly feel better. And that's exactly how my belt works. Give me a hand, put this fat belly on the weight scale here. When I'm pumping it up, my belt would actually lift the weight off the low back. So we went from 20 to 8, 7, 6. The weight just keep decreasing because the belt will lift the upper body weight off the low back. My belt will help to relieve the pressure and the pain off your back. This is a model of a degenerative back. With degeneration, 2 problems can occur. First, the back becomes very unstable, forcing the muscle to work really hard to hold your bones together. My belt helps to keep the back together, supports the belt and stabilize your back to prevent it. Second, a degenerative disc act like a bulging pipe. Under pressure, they'll actually bulge out or herniate. This causes irritation on the nerve, which causes back pain and possible leg pain. Now my belt helps to decompress, take the pressure off the disc, help to reduce the herniation, and this helps to relieve your back pain and relieve the leg pains too.
So if you have back pain, have your Medicare card available and call us now. Our operators can check if you're eligible to receive your very own Dr. Host back belt at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Get back to living the life you love. You can wear Dr. Host back belt while walking, relaxing, driving, doing housework, lifting, playing sports, and even while sleeping. Just pump it up and feel the relief.
Really working. It's already beginning to relieve my back pain, and I can feel it really stretching the tight muscles in my back. And I can't believe how good it feels.
Call now. You deserve to get relief from your back pain. And if you're eligible, you may receive your own belt at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. You'll get Dr. Ho's back belt, easy-to-use hand pump, and back rehabilitation DVD. This is a limited time offer.
Call now and get relief for your back. Back pain doesn't have to limit your life.
A few weeks had passed since Jessica was missing, and the police didn't have any leads. The FBI didn't have any leads. We didn't know where she would be.
We know statistically that the longer somebody endures kidnapping, the less likely it is they will be found alive. We also know statistically that as a kidnapping continues, especially one that's of abusive nature, as this one was, that a pedophile's aggressive behavior will increase in its aggressiveness, which is ordinarily what eventually culminates in a murder.
Every day I worried that Oliver would get into a really bad mood or lose it one day and try and kill me. Some days I was tied to the bed. He'd hit me with the chairs, pots of pans, or his fists. It didn't matter if I tried to fight back or scream or anything like that, because nobody could hear you yelling or screaming because it was in the back of the hotel where nobody could see or hear you. Oliver left visible marks. There was bruises on my face, because at that time it didn't really matter because there was nobody to see me. He forced me to watch pornography, and then I would have to do a certain sexual act a certain way. If they weren't done to his standards, I had to repeat it, or he would just tie me to a chair, and then I wouldn't be able to eat until I did it the way he wanted me to do it.
By the middle of October, everything had dried up. Nothing we had done generated anything that was of any consequence. Really, the only thing we had to go on is looking for that car.
As the days wore on, we didn't know where to search for her. We thought maybe she was up in northern Wisconsin, where they have cabins where there's hunters, and she could be in an abandoned shack somewhere, and we wouldn't know it. But I started to get really worried, because with hunting season comes the cold and the snow. And so a lot of those cabins are not heated, or they're heated by wood. And if Oliver wanted to keep her hidden, he wouldn't necessarily light a fire because of the smoke coming out of the chimney. I was just praying that she wasn't cold or hungry or injured.
A couple months after him non-stop telling me that my name was Cindy Johnson, and that he was my dad, and that nobody would be looking for me, I just believed that my name was Cindy and not Jessica anymore. I couldn't even tell you who I was. It's really scary.
By the middle of November, we've got nothing. Then we find the car. A parking lot attendant in Kansas City Airport finds that car because it had tickets all over it from shortly after the 16th of September. So we knew the car had been driven right to that airport. We assumed that Stephen and Jessica had gotten on an airplane.
We were astounded that it was at an airport. We couldn't imagine where he took her. We just couldn't imagine.
Back then, the rules were different than they are now. You could get on an airplane by just saying you're Joe Smith. So checking the rosters of those flights didn't come up with anything of any consequence.
It was horrifying to know that she could be anywhere because it is a big world out there.
Be Safe is brought to you by the Justice Network.
Most of us don't think twice before stepping into an elevator. But here's some things to be aware of. If someone looks out of place or behaves strangely, don't board. Take note of whether a person already in the elevator has pushed the floor button. If not, immediately walk out as if you forgot something. Finally, stand close to the control panel. It'll keep the alarm button within reach to draw unwanted attention to the attacker if needed. Be aware and be safe.
In the connected world we live in, our personal information is everywhere. What happens if that information gets in the hands of criminals?
Someone benefited from this. We were the ones on the hook for it. We can't pay a $50,000 bill.
Cyber criminals around the world keep finding new ways to steal your personal information, and it could be right from your personal computer or smartphone. That's why LifeLock includes the power of Norton for even more protection for your identity and your devices, where so much of your personal information lives.
Knowing that Norton and LifeLock are on my side makes me feel even more confident about the protection that I have for my identity.
Monitoring your credit isn't enough to see if your identity is being used by thieves. LifeLock helps you see more threats like your information on the dark web. And now with the power of Norton, we help defend your personal information on your devices from ransomware, spyware, and more. And if you have an identity theft problem, a US-based restoration agent will work to fix it.
There's a whole team of people that are working on my behalf.
Only LifeLock members are covered by LifeLock's powerful $1 million protection package, including reimbursement of stolen funds and personal expenses up to the limits of your plan, and lawyers and experts if that's what it takes.
I was covered through my membership, and I received a check for approximately $1,200.
Join for as low as $9.99 a month and get a free shredder with promo code TVOFFER. All memberships include identity threat detection and alerts, agents working to fix issues, LifeLock's $1 million protection package, and award-winning Norton security protection for up to 5 devices.
I've got 2 industry leaders to help protect my identity and my devices.
LifeLock with Norton. Call 1-800-680-0745 or visit LifeLockTVOffer.com. Use promo code TVOffer to get a free shredder with annual membership. Call now.
Attention oxygen therapy users. If you've been chained to an oxygen tank, then you know they're a burden. Tanks keep you from living the life you love.
I was on oxygen tanks, and I couldn't go anywhere and do much of anything. I didn't dare go far.
It's time to reclaim your independence with an Inogen One oxygen concentrator. Inogen makes its own oxygen from the air around you, so you'll never worry about running out of oxygen again.
I wasn't going to run out of oxygen ever, and it was like freedom. I got my life back. I really love my Inogen.
The Inogen One G4 is lightweight and compact. Plus, it's battery operated, so you can have oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Oh, do I think Inogen is worth the money? You better believe it's worth every single penny of it.
Call now for your free information kit. There's no obligation. Inogen. Oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Call 1-800-747-4941. That's 1-800-747-4941. Call now for your free information kit.
When lives are on the line and every second counts, one call can make the difference between life and death. Make the call and save a life. The all-new Justice Network series, Rescue 911, starts next.
Thanksgiving was really tough for us because we thought for sure that she would be home by then, and we were in despair.
You're thinking, okay, we're gonna find her tomorrow, the next day, next week. And then Christmas comes along, you know, the biggest fear is what if he would abandon her in the cold? It's heartbreaking. Every day goes by and it's like, oh my God, you know, we gotta find her. And you just keep going.
It was heartbreaking waking up on Christmas morning and she wasn't there. It was so sad. There was no joy. There's no smiles. There's no happiness. He had stolen that from us. As a mother, you have to put on your game face and show your other two children that you're strong and you're going to find her. So my only time to let my emotions out was in the middle of the night on the bathroom floor and crying and pleading to God that we find her.
Christmas time was, I'd say, the hardest time for me, not being around my family and just not being able to have memories with them. I didn't know if I was going to ever see one of those holidays again. A couple days after Christmas, at the hotel restaurant, that was the only time I was actually able to eat outside of the hotel room. The first person that I met there was Lily Roy, the restaurant supervisor. I already got to say hi to her, but I wasn't really allowed to talk to anybody. I probably hadn't had anything warm in weeks, and I could actually eat without getting yelled at, so it was nice.
On December 28th, I got a call about 11 o'clock at night from America's Most Wanted. And they said, you know, we think we got something here. There's a lady who says that she thinks she knows where they're at. We're going to patch her through to you. She said she worked for a motel in Houston, Texas. And she said, I know who they are. She said, they're staying at that hotel. I know them under different names, father and daughter, Dave Johnson and Cindy Johnson. I called the Houston office of the FBI. I told them, I said, I'm sure this woman's got it right. You're going to find her there.
I got myself geared up pretty rapidly, and it was red lights and siren all the way to that part of Houston.
It was late at night, and I was sleeping in bed, and I hear some banging on the door. And Oliver just said, don't you dare do anything, don't you say anything. And they knocked again, and they said, this is the FBI.
We made a rapid entry into the room and grabbed him and secured him immediately, and then separated Jessica from him.
They pushed me to the side of the window.
Initially, Jessica was fairly upset with us, and that's what we expect in these types of cases.
I did not know that I was being rescued by the FBI. I assumed that some strangers are coming to the room. And then they said, are you Jessica Malmberg? And I was like, no, I'm Cindy Johnson.
She was so involved in this pseudo world that it took a little bit of doing to thaw her out, to get her back to realizing who she was.
He's like, no, you're Jessica Malmberg. You have a scar on here. Your mom told us that. It's like, your name is Jessica Malmberg. And I looked over my forehead. I was shocked. I just believed that my name was Cindy and not Jessica anymore.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-595-2457.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
An important message from Mizo Justice. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to asbestos without their knowledge. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court has established Asbestos Trust with $30 billion in initial funding. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call Mizo Justice today.
Please call 800-368-3101.
Iconic luxury items from Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Gucci, Rolex, and hundreds more at up to 90% off retail. All authenticated by our experts. Real luxury, unreal value. Only at The Real Real. Shop now and get 20% off on selected items with the code REAL.
At about 11:30 at night, I was talking to my sister on the telephone, and we were planning on what to do next in our search for Jessica, and my call waiting came in. I thought to myself, who would be calling me at this late hour? And it was the FBI agent.
Shortly after midnight, I call Monica and tell her we got Jessica and we got Steve. She's physically okay. He's in handcuffs.
She's in one squad car and he's in the other. And I can still feel it to this day. The elation. Those few words changed our lives completely.
I sat in bed with the phone, and I just dropped. It was... It was a late Christmas miracle. Best day of my life.
From the Houston hotel room, we went directly to the FBI headquarters, and then I did not realize that I was rescued until I got to talk to my mom for the first time on the phone. It was really weird because I didn't believe that it was my mom. But then after she started talking to me, and I started to remember that her name was Jessica and that she was my mom, and I was really excited, and I know it's going to be going home and seeing my family again.
But by morning, we were able to orchestrate a 6 o'clock flight out to Houston to get my daughter back.
I could see my mom, my brothers coming off the airplane, and my mom was running towards me.
Everything that we had lived for was standing right in front of me.
I remember running to my mom, giving her a big hug, and then she was just crying.
It was so wonderful to hold her again.
And I knew that I was in safe hands again, going back home.
As a mother, you feel so blessed to have that gift given back to you. Jessica was gone 3.5 months. I got my child back.
I met with Jessica at the FBI office to interview her. Her answers were straightforward, honest, and graphic.
Jessica was remarkable in her testimony. During the course of the trial, I had certain little things she had made, little art objects. She made me a little heart with my name on it. I said, I'm going to be holding that, and you're going to look at me. You're not going to look at anybody else. And so the only time she really looked away was when she had to identify Stephen Oliver as her perpetrator. We got the conviction based on the testimony of Jessica. Stephen Oliver was convicted of kidnapping Jessica Mullenberg, and he received 40 years for his actions.
After the trial, Peg and I kept in touch over the years. Peg is a very kind, strong-hearted person that stands up for what's right.
It's hard not to feel an emotional connection to Jessica because she was such a special kid and had endured so much.
Almost 20 years later now, I still have a lot of medical problems. There's still days that I get flashbacks or bad dreams of stuff that happened to me when I was kidnapped. But I've been married now for 6 years, and I have 2 wonderful children that I love very much and keep close to me.
I'm always excited to see Jessica. I think for me, seeing her is always so inspirational. Having watched her over 20 years and all that she's accomplished, all on her own, is just really an incredible thing.
Oh, hi.
So good to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
2 children?
2 children.
I know.
Married now.
I know.
Just want to thank you for being there for me when I was younger and making it easier for me to testify, being there for my college graduation and for my wedding.
Yeah, no, it's great to keep in touch with you. You're very inspirational. You have just been an incredible example, I think, for kids who've been victimized everywhere in terms of moving forward, even with those horrible memories that will always be a part of you. You just stand as a testament to all that's good and tough and righteousness winning over evil and everything like that. You really are. So.
Always be grateful for Peg and everything that she has done for me, and it's always wonderful to hear her talk nicely about me. Hug.
It's very hard to relive the memories of what happened to my daughter, but in the end, it's better to talk about it, to release some of that, and mainly to help other people learn to prevent these things from happening again.
I strongly believe that it's a very good message about hope of me returning home and just trying to give other parents hope that their kids can come home safely.
You're the strongest, bravest person I know, and I aspire to be like you.
Thank you for looking for me, making sure that I came home safely.
I would do it again in a second. To my daughter, and I love you.
Oh, sure.
Rescue 911 starts next.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911. Held hostage at home.
Somebody just broke in my house.
A woman is trapped.
Okay, I'm
McDonald's, just pull up there, okay?
And the responding officer fears the worst.
First thing I found was they're not going to be any witnesses.
Plus, can an art student save face
They want to know if we could remove the mask.
when a plaster mask gets stuck?
EMT training covers none of this.
On Rescue 911.
In 1989, Stephen and Carol Tokay said goodbye to the stress and crowds that came with living in a big city and moved to the peaceful countryside near Knoxville, Tennessee. In the few years they've been living there, most days began the same way until the morning of December 30th, 1991.
That morning, I got up at 7 o'clock.
I was getting ready to say, in this lady's defense,
Carol goes to bed at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, so she gets up later.
just by looking at her, I was going to make a comment in reference to the way she
I think there's a lot of crime
But she
everywhere
is
you
a
go,
beautiful-looking woman.
but
But
we
it doesn't
felt
matter
that
how you look,
being
what you
in
have,
more of
what
a
you
rural area,
people are just gonna be
you wouldn't be subjected
and if
to
they don't
as
like you,
much.
they will get their friends and everybody else to go against you. I've seen this time and time again, so what's the difference between her being on the job and arguing with people and or even with relatives? Because it doesn't matter. If somebody doesn't like you and they favor somebody else over you, of course, they're going to stick by that person, even if that person is wrong. And that's where they go wrong too. And this is why our society is screwed up and backwards. Because even if people are wrong, people will stick up for them.
911. Hi.
But allow something to be wrong done to them, they will speak out against it.
No, I